Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. This is Jeng and Jero. Now, today we have the Matchmaker show, and you understand the protocol here. Any other time we have a man on board, the man is looking for a woman. In the same way, when we have a woman on board, that woman must be looking for a man. Today we have a man. I will tell you the kind of woman he is looking for. But before then, if you're watching us for the first time, this is the Matchmaker show. We help men and women to get matches, and the moment they get the right ones, they meet their destinies. So you're not lost. Our guest on today's show is Mr. Nduati. Mr. Nduati is coming from Meru, specifically from Igonji, and he's an ex-serviceman. An ex-serviceman is an ex-military man in mwanajeshi wa kitambo. And at the age of 61, you could be asking yourself, what kind of a woman is he looking for, and things like that. Because the moment we begin to ask these questions, that is the moment you begin to make a decision on whether or not you will be interested. At the end of the day, it is very important to listen to these stories so that you don't end up approaching the guest even without an information, without a piece of idea of who the man is and what his name is in the first place. Our guest on today's show is Mr. Duarte. He's 61 years old and he is divorced officially. There was a time he was working in Sudan. There was a time he was working in South Sudan, both those two countries. And 7 years ago, he decided to hang the boots. To hang the boots is to leave the military service. And most times than not, people don't understand that in the military, the classification of an army officer is dependent on very many things. It is dependent on factors like age, factors like maybe their rank. You see, there is a different level of qualification. There is a different level of qualification for every officer. So depending on very many parameters that are some of them known, others not, one can maybe leave service. Number one, he is looking for a woman because he's divorced. He had married a woman, and that woman was from his village. A woman they loved one another for a long time. A woman they felt like it was the real thing. However, it was not the real thing. And while he was working away from his country, then he decided to divorce her because they had not been in good terms. You see, when you leave your ex, it is not always good to keep on bad mouthing them. You don't have to say every bad thing. You can just say you divorced. People will understand because maybe there are even people who are watching me and they are divorced. And sometimes you don't have to wash your dirty linen in public. He's looking for a woman from the ages of 45 all the way to 55. If you fall under that category and you have adult children, this could be an ideal match. He's living in Embakasi, but he comes from Igonji. Igonji is in Meru, so he is Meru. By birth, he comes from Meru. That is where he came from. There was a time he had some political ambitions, and then he realized that charisma is not enough. There is so much into politics, and most people don't understand that there are two rules in politics. Number one, either you start very young or very early, or number two, you have a significant amount of money and influence for you to be able to command a political seat. Because some of these nominations, you see, with popular political parties are bought a lot of money. For instance, if you look at the last general elections, you look at a party like the UDA, United Democratic Alliance, the one that was the vehicle for President William Ruto to State House. That political party was very popular in some parts of Rift Valley and most parts of Rift Valley and almost the entire Mount Kenya region. So for you to get that party's nomination, a nomination is like a direct card. Some of them are conducted, others are not even conducted. By the time you're getting nominated as either the party bearer, the party flag bearer of a certain constituency, a political ward, maybe gubernatorial position, senatorial position, as member of parliament, as women representative, all these positions, for you to get that position, you have to either be very popular or number two, have very deep pockets because there will be people who are gatekeepers, captains of industry, keeping gate there so that once they gatekeep, you can cough a lot of money and you can even get a nomination directly. Okay, I am not saying that is what they did, but exactly that is what they do. It is not just with UDA, ODM, the Jubilee Party. We have very powerful men and women inside who do the vetting, and they can actually nominate people. And there is nothing you can do about it. In fact, there are people who can win nominations. That is why they even conduct, political parties conduct nominations. Once they conduct nominations for a certain position before the elections. For instance, if an election was to be held in the month of August, the nominations can be held in the month of either March, but constitutionally in the month of April. And when the nominations are held, a popular candidate will emerge. That popular candidate will be the flag bearer. And if he or she does a good campaign, then they can prepare for the position because it is as good as home. So there was a time that Mr. Nduati was contemplating on a political seat, but there were other parameters he considered, and he remembered that influence was not enough, charisma was not enough, and many other factors were not enough. Because again, you have to be a popular candidate. Politics is for popular people, and especially in this part of the country and any other part of a constitutional democracy, because you have to convince the masses. You have to tell them why you and not somebody else. So for now, he shelved those ambitions. He's no longer into politics, or he's not having a political ambition. I have said he's looking for a woman who's between the ages of 45 and 55. That woman should be God fearing, of course. That woman should have adult children because his children are grown ups, four of them, and that person should either be divorced or widowed strictly. Strictly means there is nothing you can do if you are separated casually. There's no need of you sending an application unless you are not married in the first place. You know, there are people who are not married. Yeah, there are people who are not married. Such candidates are free to send an application. So, and we are wishing him well. We hope he gets a good match. He lives in Embakasi in his home. He built a very good home in Embakasi, and he says he's a disciplined military man, ex-military man, ex-government official. So he would also want somebody who is very disciplined, and he would want somebody who does not have dramas with family. I don't know, they have curses and whatnot. Somebody they have to fight because there was dowry, and then he has to pay something else for, I don't know, rituals. No, he wants somebody whose story is straightforward. So we are hoping he gets a good match. And again, you could also maybe be willing to get some viewership, just like Mr. Duarte. What you do, you see those numbers on the screen. You can contact us. You can contact my desk. I wanted to say conduct. You can contact my desk, and then we can be able to get you aired. You can either be posted on Facebook or on the timeline or the stories, and you'll be on the choosing end, because I'm so sure that even Mr. Duarte will receive so many people wanting to date and marry him. Remember, on Facebook alone, we have more than 98,000 followers. That's a significant number, an overwhelming majority of single people. So you can never go wrong. Once you get posted, you find people who have a lot of admiration for people like you, and then you can decide to walk the journey of life together. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. This is Jenga Nje. Bye.